Okay, so I recently went to an estate sale and I wanted to show you guys. I mean, this house that I went to was amazing. I couldn't really record there. It was just like a little bit awkward, but I just was able to take a little bit of the yard, so I'll put that in here somewhere. And there's so many different categories. Like, look at this. How much stuff? Well, not that. That's my water bottle. So don't look at that. And then and I'm in my kitchen, but I got all different categories. I got things for the office, things for like really cutesy, like so basically my first piece of advice about going to an estate sale is a lot of times people go in with a plan and they say, I am going to look for, I need an umbrella, say, an outdoor umbrella. And that's great. Like if they have that, okay, that's one thing they might have, and maybe you'll find it and maybe you'll get that. But now they have a whole house full of other things. So what I definitely like to do is see what the people had, what they were into, what they did for a living. For example, the people in this home were there for a really long time, and the husband, I guess, father, I don't know what to say. He had this really nice office, and in the office I was like, is he an architect, or is he definitely does something creative. He had a lot of his tools. I actually took a couple of boxes of his tools. So that was one thing that spoke to me, where I said, okay, I see that he definitely like worked from home. One of the biggest rooms was his office, and he definitely had a lot of interesting tools. So that's the focus that I went. And it's funny because everybody was sort of running around the house and grabbing things. I didn't plan on getting tools there. I didn't really see any pictures of the place. Let me think. So he had office things. He had a nice office. So he had some like interesting office pieces. He had some tools, like I said, vintage tools. He had some art, which I can tell was already picked over by the time I got there. A lot of people go for art, so, but I did get some cool things. And then his wife had a lot of like really quaint, like, like this, for example. I guess we'll just start with this. So this is, it's like a French style, like handbag, could be a handbag or it could be like a little sewing box. It is missing the little thing that goes around here, which is no problem because I'll show you what it looks like. This, it's like not, it's just like and then it's not even neat on the inside. So look, I'll show you. Just tied in a knot basically, and it just sort of acts as a hinge. So I have some like leather things that we make necklaces out of sometimes, my niece. So so this I thought was really great. And so the way that it works at an estate sale is you want prices as you go. It doesn't really work like that. A lot of times they just say make a pile and we'll, which is a little bit nerve-wracking because you don't want to waste your time, continue going through the whole house when potentially you'll get to the end and say like, are you kidding me? It's that much? I didn't know. Why did I waste all this time? So sometimes after I have a little pile going, I might check in with the person and say like, look, I don't know if I should keep shopping or, let me know. This actually, I just put this here because this was, there was another one. This was from a garage sale. This is different, but because I had the basket here, I want to show you this. I had another basket, which I'm going to put the shot in. It's sold already. It's sold immediately. It's so cool. It was like a picnic basket that held also 2 wine bottles, but it was like this kind of wicker. And the other blanket that I had was this kind of cotton also. It was like more of a woven than this. And it was this kind of plaid, but it was red and white and it had strawberries. It was really super cute. It sold right away. I did get some decent pictures of it. So anyway, so things like this, I think these were $1 each or $2 each. I forget. But I always look for cotton, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I think this could also be a nice picnic blanket, or a tablecloth. I think it's a tablecloth. But anyway, so we got that. So there's those two. The next thing that I got was this brass little bird cage. And it's heavy. It is missing something, which is the little, see this on the hinge? There should be one here that pulls out so that it can lock the door or it can unlock the door. It's not a big deal that it's missing. No one's really gonna be putting a bird in here. The other thing I noticed, a lot of people were like, oh yeah, but it's broken because of this. Let me see if I can get this more clear. These are, I gotta open the door. Hold on, let me get my hand in there. If you look, these little like feeding things are super loose. But so look, it's honestly, it's just a screw underneath. It does have some labels that are old. It was originally $30. It looks like the label is probably from like the 70s or 60s. And it's cute. It's got the little perch there. So that was the second thing. And it's all brass and very heavy. That was the second thing. And then they had a whole stack of all these leather. I should have bought more, but some of them are like fossil, you know, like they weren't anything great. I thought this looked cool. It's a cigar holder, but I didn't really know how it worked. It says made in, let's see if I could get that. It says Spain. It's like nice leather, nice soft leather. It goes like this. You put the cigar in it, and then this is then it's like a cover. So I thought maybe it was missing the top, and then I realized, oh, this is the top with it. And then there's this, which is, I'm going through this fast because this video would take a really long time. There's a lot of stuff. So what is this? Oh, this company, Il Basante. It's made in Italy. It's a wallet that, you know, it straps closed. And I find like older people always have this really nice leather things because it's been worn in. This is a nice shape. This elastic is a little stretched, but this piece I think I'm keeping, so I'm okay with that. But look, it's got like the credit card thing, another little spot. You could put some other money. It says W.A. Di Filippo. Oh, made in Italy. Yeah, genuine leather. And I tell you, it's like that floppy, like soft leather. And look how big the billfold is. It's huge. It's really big. So this is a good like little organizing thing that I can use for myself. Nice floppy old leather. So we got those two. Okay. Now on this, in the same category of things that I believe belong to the wife, I have this little piece of art. It needs to be cleaned. It's very dirty, you can see. But it's like a peach with some, I don't know what that is, nuts. But it's a little oil painting. It's signed by Eric. I don't know who Eric is, but, oh, here's a B. Altman originally. And it was marked down from $25 to $12.50, manufactured by Reflective Creations. So I would look all that up. I mean, this is definitely, I could tell just by that price tag that this is pretty old. They don't really use things like that anymore. So I would look this up and see, but that's a cute little thing. I saw these are really not my thing, but the reason I grabbed these, I was making a pile already. It's signed, and I didn't know is that a print signed in the plate, which means when it says signed in the plate, that means it's not pencil signed after the fact. That means it was signed and then they actually printed the entire thing, including the signature. So this could, and one of the ways, I don't know if you'll be able to see, I'm going to see if I can show you. If you really zoom, oops, let's see, get a really zoom, but if you really zoom and try to focus, anyway, I don't think we'll be able to see, but I'm going to zoom out. I don't want to make everyone crazy, but you would be able to see it pixelated, like let's see, this might, I don't even know if this is a print. It might all be painted. I'm not really sure. I couldn't find it online, this exact one. So I'm thinking that this is, delete half of my stuff on my phone. Anyway, I've just been recording a lot, so it's taking up a lot of space. But the thing with this is, it's kind of cool. This is how the box is on the outside. I'm scratching up the table. It's okay. It's that easy. And then you open it up, and it is a little chessboard. And I think it's made in like India, or I'm not sure where, but this is a knight. Okay, I get that. But there were only 2 of these, and then there were 2 of these. So I'm thinking that's a knight on one side, and this is a knight on the other side, but it's confusing. And a couple of them are really confusing. Like, what is this guy? I don't know. I don't know what that guy is. And, you know, they all kind of look the same. I don't know. I'm not sure. So, and this, like, what's this? It's just a square, it's just a rectangle. But I think, I understand, like, it's handmade. It's like clay. And then the board is wood. And it's cool. I mean, I wouldn't use it because I get too confused already. I'm not that good at chess. I've only played a few times. So I won't use it, but, you know, it's good. I keep it put in my game closet and see what goes on. So then let's go to the tools. And I also, sorry, let me just put this over here. I have gone through these already. What I do, like I said, when you go to an estate sale, see what's at the estate. You know, yeah, you might want an umbrella, but if the guy is an architect and he's got really cool things and he makes stuff like this, there were like 5 of these different ones. One was red and blah, blah, blah. And then I was considering buying them, but they are big. So for me to put this in my house, it takes up too much room on my desk. I am going to sell it. I don't know how much because it's like, it's handmade. It's one of a kind. But anyway, so since the guy had things in the garage that I thought were cool, like that stool, that it basically, here's the workbench, say, like, there's the legs, that's the top. It had a hardware on the side that the stool sits on top. It's hard to explain this. And it swings underneath the desk. But there's no legs on the stool. It's just on the leg of the table. And then you swing it out and you sit on it so that, and you can put it at any height. So I really like that. And I'm going to show a picture to you when I figure out how the hell to do that. I'll put a picture of the stool and the hardware, and it was really cool. And actually, I Googled if I can get that hardware and just make my own, just in case, because we tried to get it off the bench and we couldn't, and I need to go back there, but I'm really not hearing back from the girl, so I'm hoping I can get it. Anyway, a lot of side talking. So there was a box of just random stuff, and I love to just grab a box like that because, if it's cheap, you never know what's in there, and it will definitely add up. Say this is, I think maybe I paid like $8 for this whole box, and when you see a little box, it's heavy. There's like a decent amount of stuff in there. When you see a little box, this was all like full of garbage, basically. There was like stuff buried, but I did go through because I wanted to see. There was something I needed, and I wanted to see if they had it in here. But this is cool. This is like, the guy definitely worked on, he did art because he had a lot of framing materials there. And if I knew how to frame, I would have gotten them. He had like the actual frames, then he had pieces of glass, then he had matting things, and he has a lot of tools in here that reflect that. So you don't get fingerprints on something. This is a suction cup. You push down on the suction cup goes on the surface, and then you push the plunger down, and it sticks to it, and then you can move it like that and do it so that you have more leverage and you don't get fingerprints on it. So I've never seen that. I think that's cool. I haven't ever needed that yet, but listen, you never know. A lot of times I find the tool and then I find the job, which is really weird. This is, you just add this to the back of any art to make it into like one that can go on the table. So I could use that. Why not? And then this alone, this one piece is worth like triple what I paid for the whole box. I think these are great. These are like Fiskars, just scissors, they lock. I'll use this to prune my plants and stuff. But there were a lot of scissors, a lot of vintage scissors. So, and if you look at vintage scissors, they have writing. Like this one is made in Italy. If you look really close, you can see. People don't realize that there's so many things to collect, honestly. I have a bunch of scissors. I do like the ones that are made in Italy. I can't really see this, but anyway, you get the point. So tons of scissors. This is probably what I'll be putting into my own toolbox, which is all the screwdrivers. And the one that I like the best is this. They're all different little screwdrivers. The one I like the best is this. Look how small this is. It's so tiny. It's so cute. It's just like a little flat. I always look for little things like this, and I'm not going to go out and just buy this, so it's perfect for that. I also like screwdrivers with a short, so I feel like you can get more leverage that way instead of having like the long stem to it. So these are good. I'm always looking for screwdrivers, but he had a lot of tools like this with like the, sorry, it almost looks like a dental. Let me put on the, see that? Tons of tools like that. So let me just show you those real quick because I have no clue what I would ever do with these, but let me put them down here. These are all those kind of like dental, see? So he was definitely doing something with etching, or because this is like a hot etcher. What I always do when I get tools is I take out all the ones that are wood. See all these? The lighter wood ones are usually not like anything super valuable. This is like a little, but they have, this is an art tool, it says. It's for like scooping up. See that little like scooper tip? So these are not something that I necessarily have a need for. A little punch. Pointy. He's got a lot of pointy things. I would have liked to meet the guy and talk to him. I don't think he, is around, but lots of those. And then this I thought that was cool. These. It's like an X-Acto knife, but like a real one. See? You have to do the butterfly thing, pull it out. But look, it's got a wood handle. I love wood handle tools. This one. So cute. But I just feel like the value of these, and then all of these are, they're called bone folders. They're actually, some of them are plastic. These ones, there's a ton of them. The ones this guy had are all really bone. And what you would do is, it's for bookbinding or like even shipping. You would score an edge and then you would fold it around this. So it gives you like something stiff. But I'm not going to bore you too much with all the tools. The way I separate tools is even in I have like a tool roll that I use. Okay, Lily. Okay, I see you. She's cute. She scratches the door and then she runs away. Lily, come. Come on, come on. It's boiling hot out. Good girl. So, anyway, just a quick thing. The way I separate tools is I put all the screwdrivers together. I put all the obvious things together, but then I put anything that goes like this. So it would be this, scissors, a wrench, anything that I would use this way that looks like this. It's just an easy way to, look at this. It's like, is this a nail clipper? I don't even know. But you could tell he did something very detailed. So I'll put this all back. That was one toolbox. Now the other toolbox is, I didn't even go through it all, but it's the actual toolbox that I wanted, and anything that was inside was just a bonus. Ugh, it is so freaking heavy. Oh my God. Like, I could never own a toolbox like this because, whew, I will own it. Obviously, I do own it. It'll go in my garage, but I'm not going to be carrying it around. I'm going to keep it in there, and if I need a tool, I'll pull it out. But the thing about these, look, Craftsman vintage toolbox. It's got like a little, which I like, obviously. But it's just, it looks like almost like one of those old-fashioned lunch boxes. And I don't know if there's any value in it, but to me, I was happy. I love that it's got the red little tray. Ooh, it's all so heavy. It's like made of steel or something. Super heavy. But then again, like it also has some tools in it. So one of the things that I do, everybody's looking, oh, look, let me go look at the art. Let me go look at this or that. You know, at one point, the girl running it was like, oh, who wants to go outside? We're going to go outside. And everybody just all went outside. And I'm thinking, bye. I'm going to be in the house rummaging through everything while you guys are outside. Yeah, they got great things. Don't get me wrong. They got great things outside. But that's not what this house, that's not true. This house had a lot of great things outside also. But for me, I sell to a lot of people in the city or in Brooklyn who don't have yards. So the outside furniture and the outside things didn't really appeal to me as much. It's more like I love office things. I like tools for myself. I like things that, like art, things that, you know, people in the city like. It's not that I necessarily like it, and I do have my own yard, so I can get stuff and put it in there, but I don't need any more stuff. I am all booked up with stuff. So what I do is I went down into the basement. There were some tools just randomly like laying around on the table and all over the place. So things that I liked, like any wood ones, I just walked around, grabbed. This is a look, it's got like the ratchet thing, so you can make it forward or reverse, and you put it down and this spins. I can't do it with one hand, but and then this is another one of those little scooper things, but this one has a wood handle. For me, even if they're not antique, just the wood handles are just aesthetically pleasing to me. More scissors. These. So if you do buy vintage scissors, usually the logo would be right here or on the inside, which I think these are probably on the inside. Oh wait, there it is. Sorry, it's actually here. Let me see what that says. I see USA pretty clear. I think it says Kraus, I think. I'm not sure. It's a little dirty there. But anyway, so there are things I'm like, what is this? Sometimes I find stuff and I'm like, I don't know what it is. A job will come up. Look at this. It's a letter opener, I think. I have something like this from my dad. It's the Sword and the Stone, and it's on my desk. But this is way too long. I think this is a letter opener. It's like a little sword. It's actually very cute. I don't know if it's part of something else, but so I'm saying, like, there's just random things in here. It's not that they're valuable necessarily. It's just this guy who was a very handy guy and an artist thought enough to keep it in his garage, so there must be stuff in there. These little clamps, I always am looking for clamps. So like I was saying, I will walk around, I see the toolbox, I say, okay, I'm gonna get the toolbox, or a lot of times I'll see a basket, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fill up this basket, and then when you have it like that, and then you present it to the person running it and it's time to pay, they'll look in the basket and they'll go, all right, well, you know, they're not gonna really go through each thing. And like for me, I'm like, okay, this person has a house full of things. They have a toolbox, so I'm going to put the tools in the toolbox, you know? And how much is this toolbox full of the tools? I could have left it where it's basically empty. Look at these. These are for whittling. They're super sharp. Also wood handle. I actually have a kit of these myself. I've wanted to whittle, but I've never really done it. Maybe once or twice. But yeah, so the clamps, all the clamps, I went around. They were actually clamped onto the table. I went around, took them off, and put them in this toolbox. There's quite a few. And these are good because these little ones come in handy. For me, I think. Like, I could definitely use that. A lot of times just covering a table with something and wanting to keep the cover over the table is good. So, all sorts of weird stuff. Some things I don't even know what they're for. Like I said, wow, these are cool. These are pinking shears. See, they have that like jagged edge. So when you cut, it's got that pinking shears. Oh, this is Wiss. Newark, New Jersey. So these are made in the USA, which I love. More scissors, lots of scissors. I have such a big collection. Now these scissors, what I do with these scissors is I take some apple cider vinegar and some steel wool, and I clean them up, and they clean up so easily, so fast. And if they don't clean up super fast, you just let them soak for a little while. And I don't see any name on these at all, but I'm sure it's there once I clean them up. More scissors. Lots of tools. These are always good. See how that's got that curve to it? Gives you like more leverage. It's like really get in somewhere. It's pretty good. It's funny because tools, oh look, a little soldering iron. This is perfect. So when I fix that mirror that I showed you, I could use this little soldering iron. I don't have one. I've never soldered, but I'll figure it out. And that'll be another skill that I have. So this is, look, great neck. I always look, this is made in China. Huh, Great Neck. There's a place in New York called Great Neck. I don't like the made in China ones. They're just not as good quality. This one is German. Oh wow, look at the side of this. It's beautiful, actually. What does that say? Oh no, I'm sorry. It looks like a German name, but this is made in the USA. But you see how the tools are, like the older tools? It's so nice. Yeah, this is beautiful. So this would go with my wood ones, and I clean this up, just not too much. I like that it looks old. So yeah, I mean, if you don't like tools, you can just forward this video, and then I'll let you know how much everything is, or an estimate. Obviously, it's just an estimate until it sells. It's really worth whatever someone pays for it. What the hell? Okay, could probably use that for something. So yeah, it's great. So what I do is I go through, I pull everything out. Wow, look how big this, anyway, I pull everything out, I separate it so that when I organize it, I figure out what I'm going to keep, what I'm not. I've never had a garage sale. Oh, excuse me. I've never had a garage sale. I definitely should, because I have a lot of things that, oh, let me put this underneath. I have a lot of things that I don't want. They're not like valuable enough to sell. So what is this? Look at this. See, this is so interesting. It just looks like a screwdriver. It has an actual screw on the bottom. So is it like a little drill? It goes in a pocket. See that little like pen in a pocket protector it goes into? Interesting. Huh. And I hear that there's more. It sounds like there's more tips on the inside, so I'm going to open this up and see what's in there. Oh yeah, look at that. Huh. Another little thing. These sharp things, the guy definitely was using a lot. My hands are all dirty now from touching all the tools. So here's a couple of tips. First tip. When you go in, if something catches your eye, grab it. That's tip number one. Don't wait. Don't walk around and say, oh, I'll be back and I'll grab that. If it catches your eye, grab it. Ask the person where you can make a pile in the house, and if they could put your name on it. Like I put it just in the corner of the room and had my name next to it, so people knew, okay, that's sold. Oh, did I? Oh yeah, I did show you these. These are really cool too. And so that's one thing. So you put your name on it, and then this way you can always edit later, you know, but you can't get it back once someone decides they want to buy it. And it happens a lot. You'll have your eye on something, and then you walk away for just a second, and you turn around and someone's like, that's cool. Oh, you don't want it? I'll take it. And then it gets awkward. You don't want to say like, no, it's mine. I'm not going to stand there fighting over something. But, so that's tip number one. If something catches your eye, grab it. Okay. Tip number two. As you're walking around the house, get a sense of the person living there. This estate sale that I went to, the person collected a few things. Their yard was full of kind of like art that they made, and they had little gazebos everywhere that were like really overgrown, but you could tell they were handmade. They had sheet metal trees and animals that had all rusted and kind of like became part of the landscape. It was really nice, actually. I mean, it's something that's like takes a lifetime. You can tell that this was started. They had little paths all over that you can, you know, walk around, and little hidden gardens. It was beautiful. So I knew that they liked that. They liked gardening. They might have some cool gardening tools that I would need. So that was the first thing. I didn't need anything for my yard, unless it was a small piece that I could hang on the wall or something. So I did a quick once over, but I noticed a few things. They had a lot of art. They had, you could tell other people had already picked the best art, but that's okay. Even their worst art was decent. They had a lot of art. They had a lot of tools, a really nice office. His office setup it said not for sale all over it. You know, the desk wasn't for sale. The chair wasn't for sale. He had like a drafter's table, and you could tell. At first I was like, oh, he's an architect. I want to see what he's got in his office. So that was where I went. Then the wife collected salt. What do you call those? A salt cellar. She had, I'm not kidding, 200, all different antique salt cellars. I didn't buy any because I don't use a salt cellar. I don't understand the purpose of it. If somebody knows, please tell me. But for a salt shaker, I think is much more sanitary and just easier. You don't get salt everywhere. That's just my opinion, but I truly, there might be a reason for it. Maybe it keeps longer. Okay, anyway, wrapping up the video. So, I'll probably have to, instead of going through each thing one by one, I think I would have to do a total, because I really have to assess a few things. But like this toolbox, if I did piece by piece, I would say the toolbox alone, I'd probably get $25 for. And then some of the tools inside, if I separated them out, I say another 20. So say this is $40, okay? These tools I have to look into, because these are more interesting, like niche kind of tools. But I'll say it's $20. So we got 40, 60. I'll say this $30. It's a hand painted piece of art. These two, I don't know. I don't know if they're worth anything. They are signed. I'm gonna say. So we're at 60, 30. We'll just do 10 to be safe. They're worth more. But so we're at only 100. Okay. This thing now, this handmade thing, I think I would sell this for like 100 at least. Maybe more, I have to see. So we're at 200. 25 for the brass thing. These two, I'll say they're not that valuable. So a 10 and 10, say. So what are we at now? Oh God. So we're at 325. Yeah, 325, 35, 45. We'll say 55, 60. We'll say 60, 85. So 385. That other one I sold for 25. So we'll just say 400 we're at. And then 400. We'll do like 15 for the little one. So 4 and then 35. So we'll say 450 conservatively. Oh, okay, I forgot about these. 450. Oh, this is worth probably like 200. So we're at 450, 650. This is worth, I mean, it's all beat up. So I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to keep it, but and I'll probably do a new one of these. I'd like to get a ruler and just, you know, screw that down. But anyway, so what did I say? 650. This could be like $20. So $20 and $30 just to be conservative. So we'll say we're at $700. So that's great. I spent 180. and this is all 700. I spent 180, which is a lot more than I would normally spend, to be honest with you. But it was an estate sale, so estate sales are a little more. Also, I didn't count some of this stuff. That's really small. So I would say 750. Would I say 700 or 750? I can't remember. I'll put it on the screen. For 180 purchase, that's not bad. Sometimes I like buying furniture because I can do that whole thing in one sale. You know, I can buy something for 180 and then I can sell it for 750 easily. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'm sure a lot of this was probably super boring. I'm sorry about that. But I always like to see what people are finding out there and what things are. Like this. This was interesting to me. I probably, if I saw this in a store without a cane in it, I don't know if I would know what that is, you know? So this is unique. And these things are all going to be on my Etsy store within a couple of days. Don't forget these two. They're not from this sale, though.